work at every level, of how people work, live and learn, because those are the three things that people normally engage with technology.
So we're looking at BCX Namibia because they will be hosting their second Namibia Transform Summit with various speakers in the ICT and digital sectors. And joining us in studio on MYD Smart for more on this very prestigious event is the Managing Director of BCX Namibia, Mr. Dirk van Niekerk. Sir, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we're so I'm glad that, you took the time off, because I'm sure this must be quite a busy time for you. Quite a busy time indeed.
Yes, it's a busy time. We're busy also with a lot of exciting things, of which the BCX Transform Summit is one of them.
Yes.
So yes, but there's always enough time during the day if you focus on the things that you want out.
Yeah, indeed. Now, before we get to the summit, let's just familiarize our listeners with what BCX Namibia is all about.
Yes, BCX Namibia, has got a very, very long heritage in Namibia, more than 40 years back. Like all good businesses, they were started out of a garage, have grown over the years. We are part of the larger BCX group, that's headquartered in South Africa and actually, primarily, owned by Telkom South Africa. So that's the big brother. But we've got operations in Botswana, in Zambia, and in Mozambique, so we can truly call ourselves a Pan-African organization.
There was a quote I read once that said that maybe the reason I'm not successful is because I didn't have a garage to start my business from. So it's good to note that you did the right thing starting off in a garage. Let's talk about some of the service offerings that are available at BCX.
Yes, we provide, a range of services. I do not want to highlight specific technologies, but we really, work at every level, of how people work, live and learn, because those are the three things that people normally engage with technology. So obviously we focus a lot in a corporate space, so we're not that big in the consumer space. But, it's really, touching, those three areas, because, the work-life balance is also not there anymore. We can work from anywhere, anytime. So yes, it did transcend into people's lives. So that's why we say, if you work from home for a big corporate, we're sort of playing that enablement role as well. If you work from work, we're also playing that enablement role, And as I said, there are various facets of technology that we provide advice to our customers, manage it for them, also just assist them to manage it themselves.
It's interesting that you touch on that, because a couple of years ago, working from home was an unknown and unfamiliar territory. And then we got into, the era of COVID, where it became a norm, and now businesses now transitioning to making working from home or remote working such a norm. So to hear that BCX covers all of those is quite exceptional. Have you seen a shift in terms of corporate-wise, working from work and working from home, and how that has affected the ICT space?
Yeah, I certainly think there's a balance that needs to be struck.
Okay.
I think COVID threw us off balance, so we do see a lot of people coming back to work because we're all social animals.
Yes.
We all need to engage,
Yes.
and it's very difficult to engage, in the digital world. So we need to see people, we need to feel them, we need to look them in the eyes. So I firmly believe there's a balance, and certain roles, lend themselves towards remote work. Other roles, customer-facing people need to spend time with their customers, and see how they operate, But also, in the past, we used to spend a lot of time traveling, to attend, just update meetings.
Yes.
So obviously remote work, and within global organizations, there are things like Teams or Zoom or Skype, all those, makes it easier, and obviously drives down a lot of efficiencies in the organizations.
Yeah. I'm still speaking to Managing Director of BCX Namibia, Dirk van Niekerk, and we'll be diving into the event that is definitely worth you attending right after this. 99 FM, we are talking BCX Namibia and their second Namibia Transform Summit. And I'm still joined by Managing Director of BCX Namibia, Mr. Dirk van Niekerk. So let's talk about the second installment. I know off air we're talking about it a little bit, but what are you excited about in terms of this 2023 edition?
Yeah, I'm very excited for the pure fact that the first year was such a huge success, you know. And obviously you also learned from having the first event last year. And this year we decided, you know, to make it bigger and better. We've changed a bit with the structure, you know, to accommodate more people or larger audience. You know, we've added a streaming portion to that for people that cannot attend. Obviously, in the perfect world, you know, these events would love to have one at the coast and one in the north and also one in the south. But, you know, money-wise, it's not always that possible. So yes, we will have the in-person event in Windhoek at the Windhoek Country Club. But, you know, people from all over the country can attend virtually, you know, and without missing anything. That's
so beautiful. Can you talk us through some of the speakers you'll be having at this edition and what they'll be focusing on?
Yeah, last year we had two phenomenal speakers. You know, we had Tandu Van, you know, out of France, you know, representing Hewlett Packard, who were quite a big sponsor for us last year. And we also had Craig Wing, you know, who was actually he's a futurist, you know, and he was a speaker at the recent BRICS Summit. So that is what we've had last year. So this year, in total, there's about 15 speakers. The opening round, you know, we always have a bit of a crowd pleaser or attractor. We've got Ryan Stramrud, who's a well-known cold water swimmer. You know, that is his forte, and he will share some of his adventures with us, you know. And then during the morning session, we've got a number of speakers that talk about cloud and security. You know, some of our BCX colleagues will come and share what they see in South Africa and also in the African continent. We have some of our leading vendors, you know, that will share the morning sessions, but that's more sort of high level. And in the afternoon, we've got 9 sessions that are very much focused on specific technologies, you know, again, within the cloud and security realm. But very specific. And then in the afternoon, we've got in the closing session, we've got Walter Adeo. He's with Cadena Growth Partners. He's also a member of the faculty of Singularity University. And previously he was also a partner with Deloitte, you know, in charge of digital transformation in Africa. So you already sum up the end of the day for us. And just before lunch, we will have 3 leading Namibia ICT players or personalities, you know, that will also share from a Namibian perspective of how they see things. You know, in the sector, from skills, from technologies, you know, from challenges and from opportunities.
I mean, this time around you said we're going big because we're not going home.
Exactly.
Those are formidable speakers. And just for businesses, you know, wondering how they fit into this event, can you just highlight how important this event is for Namibian businesses, especially in terms of their ICT system and just digital transformation?
Yeah, as I've said, the whole idea of this event was born of to bring an event of this nature to Namibia. You know, we all know traveling is quite expensive to go to South Africa or to even go to Europe or the US, you know, where you then attend, you know, events. And a lot of times those events are very vendor specific. So the whole idea of this event is to bring the summit to Namibia. So yes, we facilitate it. You know, we organize it, you know, but it's really there to create a platform, you know, for like-minded people within the ICT industry, but also not ICT people, also business strategists, you know, MDs, CEOs, CFOs, you know, because, you know, IT transcends, you know, throughout the whole organization.
Very much so.
For them to really, you know, listen to, you know, top keynote speakers, you know, to also just share what is happening in the world outside. You know, in Namibia, we cannot lock ourselves in. We need to be aware of what's happening in the rest of the world. For us, you know, with that perspective, you know, to allocate resources, you know, for where we want to spend our money, you know, within the various organizations that we represent.
You know, after the first one that you did, I'm sure you saw the impact that it had, and that's why you could also pivot, add a few things and make sure that it's more comprehensive for this second edition. What are your hopes for the outcome of the second edition that you're hosting?
The real hopes of the second edition again is just to enlighten people's minds.
Nice.
You know, it is a learning opportunity. As I say, you know, we BCX, we facilitate this session, you know, as a group, but it's really to leave, you know, the people that have attended the event, you know, with some lasting memories, you know, things which they can actually take back into their workplace, maybe into their personal lives, things that they have learned, you know, maybe some new technologies, maybe just some new ways of working, you know, for them to take back into the various organizations, you know, and when they put that into place into the 2, 3, 4, 5-year roadmaps, so they can build some of the basics or learnings that they've gained through attending this conference, that they can build into that.
And for someone who's listening in right now, says, you know what, this is right up my alley. Is there a streaming website that you're familiar with right now?
Yes.
Or how would we sign up to be
Yes,
part
there
of
will be a
event?
streaming website. We'll make that available closer to the time of the event.
Yeah.
For those people, you know, in the outlying, particularly in the outlying areas, you know, that cannot attend, you know, we'll certainly make that available.
Okay. Looking forward to it, sir. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
And that was BCX Namibia that will be hosting their second Namibia Transform Summit. And they're having, well, formidable speakers, as you have heard, in the ICT and digital sector. Please keep a lookout closer to the date. We will be giving you all of those information, even here on 99 FM. I'll personally make sure that you have all of that information. That was the Managing Director of BCX Namibia, Mr. Dirk van Niekerk.